Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. Let's catch up quickly. We've got about 20 odd minutes to go before we've got opening. So let's just see where we are on the bigger stories. And we'll jump into the 1 minutes and just get all our grids and everything into place. So let's just catch up with the Dow. Pull back a little bit from the highs, and we'll see that bit on the ABCs just now, possible little ABC down in the green, but broke that 77. In this time frame, I still want to belong to that 89. Moving averages haven't crossed, so the trend is still down, but we're chasing level to level there. Look out from yesterday afternoon when we were trading together until now, how the stochastic has pulled back a little bit. So it was above the 61.8, pulled back into the consolidation. We want to see that follow through if we're going to reach that 89 target, but we know that we have time for that. Our monthly high low rather got very close last night with those highs to that 89. We are, yes, see, less than 100 points. Can still get there. We still have today and tomorrow for these levels to be valid. Otherwise, this Friday we'll have brand new levels. Hopefully we get a little bit of a push here because so far it's not a fantastic range for April, but it is what it is. At the moment, the trend is up. According to moving averages, stochastic, above the consolidation area. So for us to reach that target, I'd really like to see the stochastic up through the 89. Now weekly high low. Sorry, let me just bring that back. We're still looking for that candle close below the 127. We know all of our targets to the upside have been reached. Never closed above the 161, and haven't got that trigger short yet. We did close, and this was last night. We did close below the 127, but we never broke that previous candle. It wasn't a trigger. It can trigger again, or it can give us another trigger. But I do like to see as moving average crossover. Now, yesterday, when we look at this possibility, the 50 moving average was around the 100. Look how that's caught up as we've gone sideways. So for a trigger, a close, and then a break of the 50 moving average, what we want to see there is stochastic follow through, moving averages cross, and then aiming for those lower targets. So the first one, 100. And if we do get to those lows, then we'll start trading 100 to 61.8. We've got no more longs for this until we get way below here. 9 hour, it broke the lowest, but there's no trigger. I just want to make sure I've got it in the right place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, 100%. Has broken the lows, but no trigger because green's still above red. So for a short trigger, we really have to go back into the consolidation area and then come off with hoping that we get a moving average crossover. But this range today is horrific. We've only got 67 points to first target. So for me, staying out of this 9 hour. Cancel trigger long, but nothing for shorts at the moment. We really on the 9 hour want to see at least like 80 to 100 points to first target. So when it's tight like this, it's just telling us not to trade really. And then onto the ABCs, we know we've broken highs last night again. So we were just moving all of our labeling across. It does look like we've got a possible nice little ABC in green now. We're going to have to just wait. Again, moving average crossover, stochastic down through 50 there, follow through down to 38.2. Then we can look at it. It's not a huge move, but if we lift that up and put the 100 at the B, we're already very close to first ABC target, and then our take profit level will be very close to the double bottom. So we know that C's end in double bottoms, head or shoulders, that kind of thing. So that's starting to look quite good. So still the first leg down in the red then. Now 5 minutes in consolidation, daily high low. Yes, it's a tough one. So it's not a bad range today because we had a nice move yesterday. It's about just under 70 points to first target. We did get a trigger long. Closed. We just move that labeling out the way. Oh, sure. I don't know. That we closed above. I didn't break the highs. Came back inside and then closed above again. That did eventually break the highs and come off all the way back to stop. So tough one. Yeah. In the consolidation area, you want to see a nice clear break out of this consolidation on our daily high low. So for short, still only looking for short below the 38.2. The trend here is down. So let's bear that in mind as we jump into the 1 minute a little bit later. Trend on 5 minutes on the Dow is down. On the NASDAQ, that's still hovering around that 61 or above that 61.8 level of our yearly high low, still aiming for the 89 ultimately as a target. Also slowed down a little bit and again pulled off that's an 8 EMA. I think that's up now. It's a 22. So my zone moving average is 11.22, giving us a little bit of resistance. But the stochastic, unlike the Dow yesterday, didn't quite follow through up through the 61.8. That's really what we want to see. Again, we have time, but the trend still suggesting that we want to be short there. Our weekly, monthly high low reached that, tested that level. It's a little double top level here on end of day. Tested that 100. A break of that 100, we want to belong to that 127 today and tomorrow. That's what we've got for these levels. I'm only looking for shorts below the consolidation area. So we've got to come off really hard for that to trigger in the next 2 days. Stochastic is above the 89. That's keeping us long. So we want to just see a break of those highs now, which can be very strong resistance at double top level. But a break of those highs, we're aiming for that 127 at least. That looks a lot closer than that there. And obviously the trend is up. Our weekly high-low targets reached. That was last night already with everything that reached higher targets. And then we started coming off there. We never closed above the 161. So our next trigger short still is below the 127. Just notice how that 50 moving average is caught up quite quickly. Now, quite often, this gives us a good idea of when we're going back to the 50 moving averages. When we break the stochastic above the 89, also the signal line, stochastic breaks the signal line above the 89, and then we go and get that follow through, specifically down through the 80, which is basically happening now. So we've got 45 minutes for this hour to see what that does, if it's going to close below that 80 or if it's going to pull back, because that generally gives us a good indication of when we're going back to 50 moving average. Now, I talk about this quite often, but this is kind of like where we are at the moment. There we could see it break down to the 50. Again, there, the signal line wasn't that high, but still coming from the 89 down through the signal line, following through down through the 80, back to the 50 moving average. Okay, sorry guys, let me just mute my sound here, otherwise the signal is going to drive us crazy. There we go. And then on the ABCs, a little bit different there. We haven't got a nice clear ABC in the green there. So for me, that's still the first leg down in green, waiting for a retracement. There was a very, very tiny one here. So that's possible. For me, that's more in the black, so a smaller degree, little A, B, C down. But this might change as we get more candles going forward. At the moment, that's really all I can see as a possible little A. We need a B retracement. If we now get like a 61, 77, 89% retracement around here, then I'm happy that that's B, and we'll look at that distance for distance going past that 50 moving average. Daily high-low into the consolidation hasn't respected 50, so we're still only looking for long triggers above the 100 to the 127, 161, and short below 38.2. So if we respect this 50 level, then that will change. We'll look at longs out of the consolidation. And again, it's not the worst range. We've got about 50, just under 50 points to first target for this market is not that bad. The moment the trend also down, green below red, and we're below the 50 moving average. Okay, let's go catch up with the 1 minute stories, just see where we are on the 5 minute grid, and then make sure our grids are right. I was watching this NASDAQ a little bit earlier on, and it was looking like we might get a new low on the grid. Let's just see on the Dow here if this is moving. So I still got the highs of last night as my high, a little bit of divergence here. And the low, I don't think has moved. Let's just go make 100% sure. No, no new lows. This was last night. Let's just see where this closed. No, not enough there. Just I can so the 5 minute grid hasn't moved. It's still from the lows of the day before to the highs of yesterday. No change to that 5 minute grid. Unless we come respect the zero level, at least get to 0.5. The 5 minute grid still in the same place. That's on the Dow. The NASDAQ, however, that might change if we get moving average crossover. So if we look at that level there, 0.6, oh, it's very close, but it's not quite there. Yeah, 0.6. Now, doesn't move unless we go and push down again, and we do respect that zero. So the 5 minute grid on the NASDAQ, same story, from the lows of the day before to the highs of yesterday, and we're trading between the 89 and the 77. Nice, decent size 5 minute grid we've got. Let's just go see if there's any changes to the 1 minute stories. This grid moved. So we were trailing the lows from the extreme highs, hit 0 on the stochastic there, then we hit 100 there on the stochastic, but of course that broke and we're just trailing that high. We then made a new low on the stochastic here. I don't know why my left mouse button doesn't work. There it was 1322, 24, around there, that low. Got moving average crossover, confirming that 1 minute grid. Level to level, we've got about 13 points. Not massive, but that's where it is. I'll snip this and just pop it into the group. Let me do it like that so that we can see the stochastic as well. For some of the guys that might be a little bit confused. Okay, that's the Dow. And then the NASDAQ, I think that hasn't moved yet. Yeah, so still from the highs of today, not the highs of today, I'm lying. We make a new low there. That didn't move yet. So it's still the highs from this morning. We didn't, from that high of this morning, it was wee hours of the morning, but from that high, we haven't made an extreme low. So we can't move the high there. Our low only came after that high, so that we can't just move the high unless we made a new low there. So it's still from this morning. What's that time? 2:45 platform time, so 3:45 when we're all fast asleep, unless except for the night owls that maybe trade the Hang Seng and the Nikkei. Then the lows we're just trailing, so I have to zoom out there a little bit, but then I'll snip that as well and pop that into the group. So that's still quite a big 1 minute grid on the NASDAQ. Okay, that's our grid levels, 1 minute and 5 minutes sorted. Let's just zoom in there, a little bit of a spiky candle there, 20 past. We've still got 10 minutes for opening. And then on our extension fibs, I'm sure we've got a new extension fib that we can put in here. Yeah, so we can trail that. There was a little extension fib from low to high, which now broke, and we're just going to trail that. So let's make that red. Uh, 38,250, we've got 9 points, just about 8 and a bit. 1 minute trend is up there now. On the down, let's look at the extension fib here on the NASDAQ. There's a very similar story. So from that low to the high, that only gives us 5 points, 38,250. We're not going to stress about that too much now. Let's see what opening brings us. 89% retracement on the Dow 1 minute grid there. A little bit of a move. 5 minute, I need to zoom in here to see what's going on with the trend because they're very on top of each other. Okay, so we might get a change in trend on 5 minute there. And this side's also getting close to that. Look at the resistance at the 50 moving average on 5 on the DAX, NASDAQ, and the 155 on the Dow. So getting close to that 38,250 trigger. There it's triggered, but as I said, that's only 5 points. We're not interested in that. This is slightly better. That is 9 points, 8 and a bit. So I'm going to wait this one out. You can see 50 moving average support there on the Dow right now. I'd rather wait for opening and give it a little bit of space. If we get that confirmation, which we've got 3 minutes to go, we might get trend chasers to the upside on both markets. but that will also bring us into opening. So I'm going to just give that a little bit of space. I'll be back in a sec. We've got 8 minutes to go. So I'm just going to make a quick cup of coffee before opening and then get ready for that. It's a tight range at the moment, so I'm not going to worry too much about missing any trades with this range. The next setup is for shorts on the stochastic. And we've also got that possible 38 to 50 and the 50 moving averages around there. So I'll just park a little bit, grab a cup of coffee and be back for opening. Hey guys, just watch this. There is a possibility of a trend chaser here. I'm going to sit that one out, 155 zone moving average in our way in 5 minutes and getting close to double top there. Although from the 89 to the 100, we've got 11 points there. So that is a valid trend chaser. We can see the trend is clearly up on 5 minutes. The trend is up on 1 minute. That's just too close to opening. I'm rather going to sit it out. Just a little sissy like that. I really don't like that first couple of candles in opening. It's just too volatile. So I'd rather wait for it to settle down. But if you're keen on that, there is that valid trend chaser setting up. The NASDAQ, we haven't got that confirmation yet. So green hasn't crossed red. So the trend's still down on 5 minutes. And we can just see it hasn't had the same sort of reaction that the Dow has now in the last couple of minutes with that push up. Okay, so we briefly broke that high. That's why I wasn't very keen on that trend chaser. I can still go, of course. We've got 2 minutes for opening. So I pull that up. That's gives us a slightly better range. We've got exactly 9 points there now. 50 moving average in our way. Stochastic might give us a trigger. So I'm going to put it in. And if it breaks higher, we'll just keep trailing it. I'll just give it enough space there. On the NASDAQ, we just still haven't got the range. We'll just zoom this in. And we've got a minute for opening, so I'm just going to bring these stories across quickly. Okay, that's pushing, so we keep trading that and we keep moving this up. I like that a little bit better now because TP is below the 50 moving average. Above, I mean, the 50 moving average is below. We can keep trading this one. Keep trading that, keep moving up. And that's our opening candle. Range on the NASDAQ now is 7 points. So if you caught that trend chaser on the Dow, that would have worked out, for sure. Just took its time, but it did. And I want to get this across, sorry guys, just to see where we are on the bigger time frames. Onto the left, yeah. Bring that back. NASDAQ 5-minute trend has also changed, so we can start looking at trend chasers there. We get a 2-candle retracement from the highs. There's a possible stochastic trigger on the NASDAQ. Stochastic down through 50. What's in space? The 50 moving average. Oh, look at that. Oof, the Dow is taking off. So we keep trailing, keep moving up. Looking at the stochastic trigger, it will also give us 38 to 50. We know we haven't got the range there, but we've got enough space to the 50 moving average one for the 89 as well there. Just gonna get my 5-minute stories on the left, right here. We keep trailing this extension for the 1-minute grid also moves. Sorry, guys. So that extension from the 1-minute grid is exactly the same at the moment. And we can still trade it because I haven't got an extension flip and the range is still good enough there for us. So we keep trading our 1-minute grid. We broke an opening price of the day there on the Dow. It's the green line we can see. NASDAQ has broken highs. There was no trend chase here. We didn't get the 2-candle retracement. Our range 38 to 50 is 7 points now. 8 points, just about. The daily highlight did trigger long. Again, I'm getting very close to first target there. That's for the Dow. NASDAQ, no trigger because we didn't respect the 50. We're going to keep trailing that high. I'm going to build a little story here for a buy stop if we do get that 2-candle retracement for our trend chasers. Yeah, the NASDAQ setting up to that same thing. Both markets, we must just watch just above the highs. We've got the 77 of the daily high lows. Let's build one here as well. Getting very close to stochastic, down through 50 on the Dow. Take that buy stop. If it does come off. Okay, so still no trend chaser. This range starting to get a little bit better. 8 points exactly now. It's our second candle on the Dow. So take a look at this, 82. I think that's the price of the day, 77. And it gives us 6 points from the high to the 77 daily high low. We're into our second 5-minute candle after opening. Let's just move some of these red lines out the way. Okay, that buy stop is valid on the Dow for a trend chaser. We're still getting closer for a better range there. Watch the stochastic down through 50 on the Dow. Possibly for the US tech as well. It's not wild. I'll take this manually if it does trigger. Down, I'm happy to leave my buy stop in, or sell stop rather. Still watching the stochastic. Oh, it's triggered. I got a horrible price because it moved very quick. Let's just watch it at the 23 of the 1-minute grid. That might be a little bit a naughty one. Now starting to set up for the same. Aiming for that 50 moving average. That's really what we're after. 23 is on our way. Okay, we've hit TP on that. Watch the Dow for that same trigger. I'm leaving my sell stop in 38 to 50 because then if we get that trigger there, that will trigger as well. We got that. Okay, so 38 to 50 is triggered. Stochastic, we want to see the follow through. NASDAQ 77% retracement. So 38 to 23 is 11 points. We can put a buy stop in there. No follow through on this on the stochastic yet. See if it wants to try again. It's at least closed inside the consolidation area now. Now we just want to see a break in the follow through. Our support's the 155, the 5-minute zone moving averages. So resistance from early on becoming support. Really struggling to get the follow through there. Stochastic is failing. It didn't trigger yet. Okay, break that high out. And trade it again. So if it triggers again, I'll take the stochastic trigger and then trade at 38.250. Still got my buy stop in because the trend chasers are still valid there. Our extension fib can actually move now. We can take it from the high to the low. Let's just swing around. Put enough candles. Just check the range. There's only 6 points there. Now the NASDAQ, if we get this average crossover, 1 minute grid is going to move, and then our extension fib is going to be there. So I'm still watching for this buy stop here. For now, it's still valid. $50 moving average resistance in 5 minutes. Okay, that's picking me up. And hit TP on the NASDAQ. I'm not moving my grid yet because this hasn't confirmed. It has to push down and give us a nice confirmation moving average crossover. Then the grid will be basically where our extension fib is, and this will be our extension fib. Yeah. Still watching down for stochastic trigger. I'm getting ready for that one. We're 12 minutes into opening. About 13 minutes to go for our opening range. NASDAQ stochastic up to 50, not a trigger. Signal line is not in the right place, still above the 50 there. Okay, I'm going to move my grid on the NASDAQ quickly. So keep an eye on that. That's the grid we had. That high. Now still possibly for that trend chaser, break for the highs. The account opening price of there is holding. And then our extension fib here is going to move from that high to that low. And the range isn't great yet. 89% retracement on the Dow. 38 to 23 is 8 points. We haven't got the range there. Nearest stick, 38 to 23 is 8 points as well. So we're looking for trend chasers, or we're looking for stochastic trigger on the Dow. The NASDAQ should get one as well. I used it. That's why. Must be careful of the 77, the daily high low there. I'm a bit concerned with that. It does break double tops. Okay, we'll watch that 77. Watching the Dow here as well. Just give it a little bit of space because sometimes it just goes and then it just a bad price. Okay, that's holding 89% retracement, little possible ABC down. 38 to 23, we just haven't got the range. And the stochastic, I wouldn't take that tree because the signal line is now below the 50. The Dow still okay for stochastic trigger. So we've got that 38 to 23, but it's only 8 points. Nine minutes to go for opening range. It's not going to be a massive opening range by the looks of it, but it can change. Everything can change in 9 minutes. Got 38 to 23 on the NASDAQ valid, but the range is crappy, so we'll set it out. Opening price, clear resistance on the Dow at the moment. Still got that 77 daily high low outstanding, so I'm going to watch this buy stop if it triggers. Possible double top there. Doesn't pick me up yet. So this is the 89 and 5-minute grid we're aiming for in the direction of the trend. Okay, it's picked me up, I can see. A little bit of a lag. Watch at 77 daily high low, very close to that now. US tech also getting close to getting picked up there. We're going to keep trading our 1-minute grid on the Dow. Zoom in a little bit there. We've still got 7 minutes for opening range. Okay, if you take profit on that and on the NASDAQ, that's a nice little chiluk. I didn't even see that. Okay, so we keep trading the 1-minute grid there as well. And our extension fib now just moves to the side. Keep trailing our grids. And we've got no extension fib. Both markets qualify now for stochastic down through 50. The Dow looks a lot better with a signal line around that 80 level. US tech is still in consolidation, but it's at least above that 56 now. Dow starting to push towards second target, 89 of the daily high low. Thanks, Sean. Just saying on the side there, 9 hour getting close. So let's go ahead and look at that quickly. Yeah, 9 hours triggered. We've broken the highs. And the trend is right. Still got no trend chasers here because we haven't got the 2 candle retracement. Okay, 1 minute, it keeps trailing. We've got 5 minutes to go for our opening range. Minutes for 4 o'clock candle. I'm just checking if there's any hectic news coming out today at that time. Was a bit of news at 2:15. Nothing of massive concern coming out. The FOMC members, or the Fed, still talking this week. That's only later tonight. Now we're going to keep trailing. Still no trend chasers there. That's very close to take profit on daily high low now. NASDAQ pretty close to opening price of the day. The Dow is at resistance 161 of 9 up. Weekly high low once again. Watch that stochastic on the NASDAQ. Second candle retracement. If we can start watching for a trend chaser. 3 minutes for opening range. So just watch the highs. There on the NASDAQ, the Dow still keeps breaking. I'll take the stochastic trigger on the NASDAQ if it breaks. Sure. Very close. Okay, that's triggered. Short. I'm going to 5 points against the trend. I think that pulls back off that 61.8. Two minutes for that opening range. But now we keep trailing. Struggling to get that follow through on the NASDAQ. Markets not talking to each other. The Dow we keep trading. NASDAQ coming off a little bit. The high we're just going to keep trading. Extension for 1, 2, 3 is the 4th candle, so we can start in the next candle or two looking at the possibility of an extension flip there. This stochastic is still struggling with the follow through. I'm watching the 50 stochastic as well for that. Straight to my TPM pullback. We're aiming for that 50 level, the 1 minute grid. Okay, we hit TP there. And we can start looking at this extension fib now on the NASDAQ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. 38 to 50 is only 6 points, so we can keep trailing that. Straight back to 50 moving average. Daily high low in the Dow, so you take profit. 9 hours getting close to 77. That's because we've got such a tight range there. Minute to go for opening ranges. So possibly the high there. Now, side as well. I've got some spare red lines here for my opening range levels. Certainly that will hold for now. And there we go, we've got opening range. I've got no more targets on 5 minutes now, except for opening range targets and then 9 hour. So I'm going to sit tight here with my trend chasers for now. I'll watch the stochastic down through 50. Oh, NASDAQ went perfect 89% retracement on the 5 minute grid there. Watching that stochastic on the Dow. I want to get my levels in quickly. Seven, 9. There we go. Watching that stochastic figure on the Dow. 1, 2, 3 candles now, getting very close to starting to look at an extension fib. NASDAQ's finding support 50 moving average 1 and 5 minute. So 4, 136. 170. One minute, 5 minute trend of both markets still up. I've got no trend chasers in on the Dow at the moment because it means we're taking that trade at the 61.8 of the opening range. I'd rather get a trigger there than we've got a target level to go, but it is valid. I'm going to start just getting this idea ready. Yeah, to 50 is only 6 points. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 5th candle now. Just getting in place. Watching this down still, keep trading this little extension fib until we have the levels for it. Just looking at something on the left-hand side, so ABCs, that 89% retracement on the Dow is still holding. Close above that or break of that, obviously that can't be B. So for me, that little trend, retracement trend, that's still there. Otherwise, it breaks highs, we just keep moving our labeling on the ABCs. 2 minutes for 4 o'clock candle. Zone moving averages, green to red, red to blue. We need this close. So candle close below the green. Just measure that. So from the low to there, it's about 21 points. I said 38 to 50 on the Dow is only 6 points, not even. So the trend tracer is valid. As I said, I'm not taking it now, but if we get a 5-minute close, opening range, I'll take it, but it is valid. Anyone's interested in it, just watch that 89% retracement. 38 to 23 is only 7 points, 6.9 points. We do have first target 9 hour, that's still outstanding. From where we are exactly now is 30 points. So that trend chaser, yeah, it's probably gonna break. I'm just a little bit of a coward. You can always trade again. We miss it. That's 4 o'clock candle. Stick also starting to look good for that trend chaser. Opening price 61.8 of the opening range in our way. I'm going to hang back on that as well. Meanwhile, just going to put my first target levels in there. So, down 2. $31. Not a bad range. Still trying. Intimate's clearly up. Okay, it's broken. So if you got that trend chaser, that's just already moved 7 points from the high. So very close. You definitely would have had it. 5 points. So this extension fib is obsolete once again. 4 minutes to go for the next 5-minute candle. Let's see if we get that trigger. Very close to first target. First target of the 9 hour, sorry. Double top level. So the highs of yesterday is at that 100 level of my 5-minute grid over here, 35377. NASDAQ, I won't take the stochastic trigger again because we're still in the same extension for range and it's a bit tight. So I'd rather set that one out for now. Stochastic on the Dow, however, I will be interested in taking. We're setting up for possible trend chaser again on the Dow there. For me, I want to wait for us to get a trigger daily opening range. And at least we've got a target level to aim for. The only target I have right now is still opening, still 9 hour, and that's really it. I've only got 9 hour until we get daily opening range trigger there. Right, sorry for the sounds of silence, guys. Trying to stop my dog's app in the background. Yeah. Okay, still I got that valid extension for, trend chaser, but we didn't trigger long yet. You see the previous candle closed right on the 61.8, so that's the 5 minute. We'll see it better when we change it, but if it goes, it goes. Always catch it again. If it breaks the highest, little double top there, we're going to keep trailing the grid. Right on it. NASDAQ still trying with that stochastic trigger again, that second stochastic trigger, but as I said, I'm not interested in that right now. Might get a change in trend on the 1 minute NASDAQ. There it's starting to just break, but again, I'm not taking that. 50 moving average, 5 minute coming up as support. Still watching the Dow for possible stochastic down through 50. On 5 minute and 1 minute, the zone moving averages are really nicely fanned out now. So we can start watching. The candle close green, aim for red. That's very close. I'd rather look at that. Red to 50 if we get that stochastic trigger. NASDAQ, we're breaking lows. We're going to keep trailing until we get the range there, which is starting to look better, but not quite there yet. Possible little separation on the Dow. Very shallow at the moment. And 2, 3 candles. Let's give it another 2 or 3 candles so we can start looking at possibility of extension fib. So let's zoom out here quickly and just have a look at this. Let's run here. Keep trailing this extension fib on the NAS. 7 points now, 38 to 50. Starting to like the zone moving averages on the Dow. $44 points still. Some stage we will go back to 50 moving average. Whether it catches up as we go sideways or we go and trade where it is there. No stochastic for longs on the NASDAQ. Only possible setup I've got there is 38 to 50 if we get the range. So it has to come off a little bit more. But now I'm going to start just putting this in. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles now. That's fine for us to start measuring, but it's only 5 points. For me, this is the first leg down, so I'd like to see a little retracement and then come off with that stochastic. I mean, it can just go in a straight line, of course, but it is really nice when we get a first little trend retracement trend. It doesn't have to be a big enough range even for us to trade, but just to see that little trend retracement trend and then get that stochastic. We can often see it on the 11 stochastic. It pulls away, then comes back, catches up with the 33, and then they go. Okay, so we keep trailing. 38 to 50 is 6 points now. Sure, NASDAQ, we did get a stochastic up through 50, but that's signal line is on the 50, so just parking off a little bit there. Again, the two markets are working. One's pushing up, the other one comes off a bit. That range wasn't good, but if we get a 77% retracement, 38, it's exactly 8 points here. A little bit tight. Let's see. So possibility of separation for long. Still in the direction of the trend. The 1 minute might change over just now. No trend chases until we get moving average cross. If we do get to the double tops here, 61.8 opening price, that most likely would have crossed over, and then we can start looking at those buy stops for trend chases. But again, like with the Dow, I'd like to see a trigger because we've got no target levels whatsoever to chase for at the moment on 5 minutes. Remember, daily highlight didn't get into the consolidation, or it didn't respect the 50, so we don't have target levels to aim for. They only support and resistance, those 77 and 89s. This is starting to look a little bit better for a possible trend retracement, and then trend for that stochastic, even if it's a 38% retracement, but I will take that stochastic trigger nonetheless. 50 moving average. We've got 24 points there. I'm starting to get the signal. NASDAQ are all over the place. I mean, we can just look at the 5 minute candles. This is what they've increased in size because of opening, but they're still very sideways. We're in this range, 89.77. Okay, I'm watching the stochastic still, getting that signal coming through the signal service. Watching this number 60 on. 77, 1 minute grid is our support. We can close below that and get a moving average crossover. We're aiming for the 61.8 here, which is a nice range, about 30 points, 35. The stack is just starting to push. Trend is up now. Trend chases are valid, but I want to see a 5 minute close above that 61.8. Look how it's respected it perfectly. If it goes, it goes. But that is valid. Oof, just okay, that's just gone. So we keep trailing this 1 minute grid, and our extension fib now is obsolete. Okay, missed that one. We're not going to cry about it. Definitely would have got this 5 points. That is about a 10-point move. I'm keeping my eyes still on this Dow. Moving average is getting very close to crossing over below the 77. We want to aim for the 61. 50 moving average in our way, but we've got enough for 5 points right now. Keep trading this little extension cut to the low. Still haven't got the range there, 30 to 50. Okay, that's triggered. Oh, again, look at the rubbish price I got. Okay, we're going to watch that 50 moving average. That's what I'm aiming for. Bloody hell. I mean, that was like 10 points after I wanted to hit the button. Okay, we've hit TP. Not going to cry too much. 5 points. Could have got like 10 out of that. We keep trailing this. Yeah, the two markets not talking. Now, 38 to 50 gives me 9 points. Almost good enough. Yeah, 8.9 points. $50 level, the opening range is support. Okay, we keep trailing. Does that give it to us? Now it's 9.1. I'll take that. Keep moving the load down and keep moving that. That range is perfect now. Now we've got the 10 points. NASDAQ is valid for a trend chaser if we get this candle close. Otherwise, stochastic down through 50 there again for a trigger short. Zone moving average is playing along real nice here on the NAS. Back on the Dow. Moving, keep moving. Yeah, Tian said we did get a trigger long opening range here. You just move that to 5 minutes very quickly. There was our candle close. We broke previous candle high. The risk reward was still fine. Trend chase is valid. It's at 89. Let's just take it back to 1 minute. So we can put a buy stop in there now. Yeah, I've got a bad connection for some reason. Keep trailing a Dow. Watch the stochastic down through 50 on the NASDAQ. It's getting very close. Down short, a little bit quick on the button there. So if I'm not fast, I'm slow. If I'm not slow, I'm fast there. Okay, I've got that in. Now we're going to keep trailing the side. Keep trailing that. That range starting to become real nice now. US tech 1, 2, 3, 4. We can start getting the idea here of an extension flow. Trading the lows. Still watching for that follow through.